4-H Online 2.0 Overview Staff Training. This training is for staff and should not be distributed to 4-H volunteers. Welcome. Thank you for attending the first 4-H Online 2.0 training for staff. For simplicity of communication, the original 4-H Online system will be referred to as 4-H Online 1.0, and the new system will be referred to as 4-H Online 2.0. This training will provide a brief overview of the 4-H Online 2.0 system and introduce the differences in the structure of the enrollment system. Future trainings will focus on the details and specifics of areas of the system. Today, we will go over the development of 4-H Online 2.0 enrollment system, information that will allow you to better understand the changes coming in 4-H Online 2.0 and the system differences between 4-H Online 1.0 and 4-H Online 2.0. After this training, you will be able to know the migration timeline for going to 4-H Online 2.0, know the new and updated terminology you will encounter in 4-H Online 2.0, understand the roles and system permissions in 4-H Online 2.0, and understand the pathway to 4-H enrollment within the new 2.0 system. For the past 3 years, RegMax, the company that developed 4-H Online 1.0, has been working on a major update to the enrollment system. The updated system has many new features, slight changes on the existing 1.0 features, in areas still under development. UCANR 4-H is committed to providing our families with a smooth transition to 4-H Online 2.0. As such, we will initially be using only the enrollment process and allowing other areas of the system to be fully developed before using these features. At this time, we are not planning to use the event registration, online payment, and the training areas of the system. Changes can be scary. Change is constant. To improve, we need to change. Our enrollment system is no different than other areas of our 4-H program. Even good changes can be a little scary and can cause stress. Ways you can manage the stress associated with change are: maintain a positive attitude. Positivity is contagious. If you enter the transition to 4-H Online 2.0 with a positive mindset, your families are more likely to have a positive experience. Also be aware that feelings of frustration can be contagious as well. To help you focus on the positives, write down the positives that arise as we continue the transition to 4-H Online 2.0. This will help you focus on the positive aspects of change. Seek support. Utilize the forthcoming help resources to increase your knowledge and become more comfortable with the new enrollment system. Get proactive. After finishing this training, complete the evaluation to provide feedback and suggest additional training topics. Continue to use the 4-H Online Help Request Survey to communicate any questions and concerns you have with the transition to 4-H Online 2.0. Families are loving 4-H Online 2.0. Several other states have transitioned to 2.0, and families are reporting an improved user experience. Mobile registration is slick, so streamlined and easy. Thank you. Re-enrolling my 4-H kiddos was so easy, like the updated look. I had a parent share with me that she loved the new 2.0. It was so easy to enroll her kids this year, even while she was sitting in the tractor waiting for the next grain to load. While learning the 4-H Online 2.0 enrollment system may pose a challenge for staff, we need to remember that the system is proving easier for our 4-H families. Our plan for moving from 4-H Online 1.0 to 4-H Online 2.0. Working within the period given by our vendor registration max, the 4-H Online 1.0 system will shut down family and county logins at noon on June 30, with plans for staff to gain access to 4-H Online 2.0 late July. Families will not have access to either system from June 30 to August 15th. Families can complete the online self-enrollment process once 4-H Online 2.0 opens for the new program year on August 15th. During the interim period, when the system is offline from July 1 to July 15th for families, necessary enrollments will be completed using paper forms and entered into the 2.0 system by August 31st, with a note in the profile indicating participation during the interim period. This fall, web-based staff training will commence and additional trainings will be announced by the 4-H state office. In April, the updated rollover checklist will be released. In May, we will release interim staff enrollment help sheets. In June, 4-H Online 1.0 will be offline to start the migration process. In July, final system changes will be made and corresponding updates will be made in enrollment help sheets. Late July, we anticipate staff having access to 2.0. In August, we anticipate the opening of 4-H Online 2.0 for family self-enrollment. By the end of August, all paper enrollments from the interim period must be entered into the 4-H Online 2.0 system. New ways to refer to things in 4-H Online 2.0. There are a few new terms in 4-H Online 2.0 that I want to highlight as they are integral into the functionality of the system. Global search, the search feature located at the top of each screen, allowing a search of any area of the system. This provides a more robust searching ability and allows use of multiple filters. Global search will allow us to search by project, club name, and more. Hierarchy. The hierarchy is the organization of the institution, regions, and counties in the system. Different permissions to access different levels of the hierarchy in different areas of the system are able to be customized with write, read, and none access options. Hierarchy has the potential to allow individually customized permission to areas in the system. Previously, settings were set at a system-wide level. Profile, a member's record in the 4-H Online system. A member may or may not have a 4-H enrollment associated with the profile. While the term profile is not necessarily new, how it is used in 4-H Online 2.0 is. 4-H Online 2.0 was built to allow an institution or university to use the enrollment system for more programs than just 4-H, like the Master Gardener program, for example. While we are only using the enrollment system for 4-H at this time, the result in the structure is that enrollment happens a bit differently than it did in 1.0. We will go over how enrollment happens in the 2.0 system later in this training. Now that we've gone over some of the new terminology, we will next look at some of the changes in terminology in the enrollment system. State administrator is now system manager. The system manager role is responsible for setting up the system and is the primary support contact for the institution. State manager is now institution manager. The institution manager is a role that has access to all of the records at the institution and is responsible for certain setup responsibilities. Primary manager, or what we referred to as the county admin, is now the hierarchy admin. This is the staff account with full permissions for that level of the hierarchy. County manager is now referred to simply as manager. Let's take a look at each of these roles in a little more depth. The different roles and responsibilities in 4-H Online 2.0. As previously mentioned, 4-H Online 2.0 uses a hierarchy structure. Let's review the roles in the hierarchy. First, we have the system manager. This is the login that has access to the system in its entirety. Next, we have the institution manager. These are the manager logins at the state office level, the role 4-H state office staff will have in the system. The first level you might encounter at the county office will be regional manager. These are county manager logins with permissions in more than one county. Previously, staff needed to use different email addresses to log into different counties in the system. This will no longer be needed in 4-H Online 2.0. Next, we have county manager. This is the role 4-H county-based staff will have in the system. Finally, we have family. These are the end users of 4-H Online 2.0. Next, we'll look at 4-H Online 2.0 permissions for each level of the hierarchy. 4-H Online 2.0 has permissions associated with each role in the hierarchy. First, we have the system manager, the role responsible for setting up the system and primary support contact for the institution. This would be my 4-H data systems analyst position. Next, we have the institution manager. This role has access to all of the records in the system and is responsible for certain setup responsibilities, like setting up state-level groups. As previously mentioned, this role will be the 4-H state office staff. Then we have the regional manager. Again, these are county managers with permissions in multiple counties. Most of you will have the role of county manager. This is 4-H county-based staff with permissions to approve, send back, and block enrollments, associate projects with clubs, create and manage county-level groups, create and send broadcast messages, view and manage members, view managers, create and run reports, and do screening approval. There is also, at this level of the hierarchy, where we will find the primary manager, the staff account with full permissions for that level of the hierarchy. Finally, we have the family. These are our end users. They can create and manage members, complete screenings, and view emails. How enrollment into 4-H works in 4-H Online 2.0. As referenced earlier, 4-H Online 2.0 was built to allow an institution or university to use the system for programs other than just the 4-H program. For this reason, enrollment happens a bit differently than it did in 1.0. Let's take a look at the enrollment pathway. Before we review the enrollment pathway for 4-H Online 2.0, let's review what currently happens in 4-H Online 1.0. At the family level, a family profile is created. Then the family adds individuals and enrolls them into the 4-H program as a youth or adult. At this time, all system information is collected. This includes demographics, contact information, waivers, consents, releases, and how that individual is participating in the program by enrolling into units, clubs, and projects. And for adults, this includes volunteer screening. Enrollment is submitted and volunteers complete required trainings. County managers review the enrollment information and, if appropriate, enrollment is approved. Now let's go over the enrollment pathway in 4-H Online 2.0. At the family level, a family profile is created. This is the same as in 1.0. However, the member and program level are separate in 2.0. At the member level, the family adds individuals, youth or adults, into the system and creates a profile. At this time, demographics and contact information is collected into the system. Remember, the profile is a member's record in the system. A member may or may not have a 4-H enrollment associated with the profile. Once the profile is created, the enrollment into 4-H can begin at the program level. Information collected at this point includes waivers, consents, releases, and how that individual is participating in the program by enrolling into clubs, units, and projects. And then the enrollment is submitted by the family. Let's continue this enrollment pathway. Once enrollment is submitted, the family process is complete for youth. The volunteer enrollment process continues. They progress in the system by completing the volunteer screening. The screening information is added to their profile in the system. Volunteers then complete the required trainings. County managers review the enrollment information for both youth and adults, and if appropriate, enrollment is approved. Here's an overview of each enrollment pathway for comparison. The new pathway in 2.0 will allow for use of the 4-H online enrollment system in expanded ways. Thank you for completing the first 4-H Online 2.0 training. This is the first of several trainings that will be made available. Please take a moment to complete the post-training evaluation. Feedback provided will be used to make improvements and decide topics for future 4-H Online 2.0 trainings.